Rebel Moon, First Moon Part 2, the second one, Scargiver, is the biggest waste of your time you will ever have. Zack Snyder, the writer, the director, the cinematographer, the nap giver, continues his Wikipedia entry of 7 space samurai as you fight to stay awake. Trees busting their nuts in soil have more passion than anything this movie has to offer. There are several characters returning in Rebel Moon Part 2, almost all of them actually. The villain Atticus is still alive. No one ever really dies anymore in modern Hollywood. See also Princess Issa or whatever the fuck her name was. Yeah, I just fucking spoiled it for you. Trust me, you weren't going to make it that far anyways. None of the characters you're supposed to care about were even fleshed out in Part 1. Expect the same treatment in Part 2. Zack Snyder thinks relatable characters are for pussies. His idea for character growth is to have our lead hero glock out a child because her adopted space tyrant dad ordered her to. All for the sake of what? Glory? Acceptance? Sadism? None of this matters anyways because her tyrant space tart of a father is pinning the murder he sanctioned on his adopted daughter 2 seconds after the fact, in front of everyone. That's when our hero decides that this dollar store galactic empire isn't for her and maybe being bad isn't so good after all.
Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
This is who you're supposed to root for. Your main hero, everyone. With motivations just as stupid as the rest of the movie that's rebel mooning all over the place. Anthony Hopkins' bot, Jimmy James, acts as the Star Wars opening crawl on downers. I swear midway through the first sentence I stopped paying attention to anything he had to say. I'm sure it was used to bring you up to speed with what happened in the first movie. At least Snyder had enough sense to know that no one was going to revisit Part 1. Little do you know that the prologue is going to be the only thing that moves fast. A majority of Rebel Moon is dedicated to slow motion grain farming. Yeah.
What?
And when that's not happening, huge expositional shits are taken right on the audience's head. Our crack-smoking team of warriors sit around a table, all getting their own flashbacks as to why they fight. These flashbacks trigger your flashbacks to the time you were in Nam. When we started Rebel Moon Part 2, we were just boys. When it was all over, we came back men.
You're never too young to have a Vietnam flashback.
Did I mention slow motion grain farming? I did. Do you want to hear more about it in depth? I thought so. In order to make a stand against the space tyrants with Dumb and Dumber haircuts, the farmers have 5 days to farm. And you get to watch its glory in all its painstaking slow motion detail. I'm talking harvesting, milling, packaging. It's all there. Yo, this shit is an epic space opera, son. You remember the biggest complaint about Star Wars? We never got to see any of that sweet, sweet moisture farming. Whoa there, George Lucas. Moving a little too fast with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's death here. What's going on with all that wetness? After spending 4 hours with these characters, I still don't know their names. To me, they're just simply known as Dimple Chin, Gladiator Guy, Witchy Woman, Space Admiral Lloyd Christmas, and Anthony Hopkins. The action scenes are just the same. Explodey action sequence number 1. Sword fight scene number 1. The shoot pew pew gangbang moment. Sword fight scene number 2. The swordening. It's all by design to make you feel nihilistic about this movie real quick. None of it fucking matters, man. None of it really fucking matters.
Show me what you got, nihilist.
Oh shit, I forgot to tell you the plot. A colony on the edge of the galaxy fights for survival against a tyrannical ruling force, relying on the efforts of a small group of rebels. That's it. Good luck. This is supposed to cover 2 hours of movie ground, and 90% of Rebel Moon Part 2 is filler. On Earth, we use the word movie to describe moving pictures on a screen that tell a story. Pretty simple stuff. At this point, I'm surprised Zack Snyder got that right. Rebel Moon Part 2 indeed has moving pictures, but this is where my lifelong hatred begins for Zack Snyder and any other filmmaker whose brain has been completely scrubbed by the same mixture of bleach and pop rocks. That's a mix that should have ended anything that resembles creativity, but it left wacky Zacky Snyder around long enough to do what he did to the audience for 2 hours. Human beings don't like movies that have no plot to move forward, no interesting characters to root for, nor do they like action sequences that make them yawn. on. The experience of Rebel Moon is more like, hey character I don't know or care about, it's just going to be me and you for a while as you take an expositional shit in my ears until I nod off and wake up to two other characters talk and plot to each other inside mason jars. As quickly as that last scene faded from my memory, this one will as well, until I'm in Farmville watching slow motion shots of people preparing for war by harvesting grain. Oh, the next scene's coming up. I hope it's an action sequence and not any other scene about farming. Oh no, it's a roundtable discussion of flashbacks. Rebel Moon Part 2 has been shot in the gut and bleeds ineptitude. In conclusion, it's the worst movie in the Snyderverse, and also the actual universe. For Rebel Moon even existing, Netflix and Zack Snyder owes an apology to everyone, everywhere. Doesn't matter if people seen it or not. Zack Snyder should post up next to a Walmart greeter and just start saying sorry to every person rolling through the front door on their rascal scooter who's just there looking for a good deal on yoga pants.
Who's that scooting on a scooter, fatty doo-doo?
Recently, Zack Snyder has threatened the adult film industry by saying he's going to direct porn if Rebel Moon Part 2 underperforms. Might as well, since he's been fucking comic book fans for years. And it's not looking too good for the porn industry right about now, but maybe it's too early to tell if Rebel Moon is shit. Maybe the brilliance of Rebel Moon will only reveal itself in the upcoming 22-hour black and white 3:2 aspect ratio director's cut. So be on the lookout for that. If you enjoyed this video, you go ahead and smash that like button. While you're done doing that, hit the subscribe button. And then, after that, share this with your friends, family, people you hate. Maybe you don't like my content and just want to waste somebody's time. Do it, share it. Thank you. It is much appreciated. I'm out of here.